Hey everyone, Ivan here. Today, we're going to cover the basics of how animations work on Webflow. We're going to go over different animation features that Webflow has built into the platform and how to use them as a complete beginner. Make sure to watch until the very end, as a lot of these examples you can incorporate into your own project. Let's get started. Now, right off the bat, before we get into any fancy animations, let's check out the ones that Webflow has built within it. In order for us to access those, all we got to do is just click on the element that we want to have an animation be on, click on interactions, and we're ready to go. As we can see here, there are going to be two different types of animations that are available for us. First, there's going to be an element trigger, and then there's going to be a page trigger. Now, with an element trigger, pretty much what that means is whenever we hover, click, or scroll past a certain element, that's when there's going to be an animation on it. With the page triggers, they are going to be a little different, as those occur when the page loads or we scroll through the page. Now, as an example, let's cover a professional page trigger that is activated by a scroll that we all have seen. Now, whenever we go to the Apple website and go to the iPhone page, a whole story is being told through the animations that Apple shows us about their product, and that creates for unforgettable user experience. I'm going to focus on the most basic ones. So whenever we get to our website, all we got to do to have an animation is click on an element that we want to animate, press the plus button right here on the right, select an action from which we want to have an animation occur. In this case, let's use the mouse hover. And all we got to do now is whenever a mouse hovers, we just got to select an action that's going to occur. And in this case, Webflow provides us so many examples that we can use, ranging from fade to slides to flips. Now in this example, I'm going to select the fade, and we're going to have a mini delay right over here, about 152 milliseconds. So it's that easy. All we got to do is press preview and see exactly how the animation is going to look like. And if we want to change it, quite simple. All we got to do is press grow, preview, and we see a different animation. And there are countless different ways of us putting elements together to see how they interact within each other with those simple animations. Now let's see a more complicated one. So let's scroll down a little bit. And once we get to these images, I'm going to show you how a page trigger animation works. So with this one, our goal is to make sure that these two images swap places as we scroll down. So let me show you how this specific animation works. Now I've already created it. So let's go ahead and click on it, press image move. And as we can see, there are going to be 4 separate commands right over here. Now here's going to be the best way to read this. As you can see here, whenever I click on this image on the left, it highlights 2 separate actions, here and here. Now, whenever I click on this one, this is the move command. And currently they're all at zeros. And make sure whenever you're working with these, put all the zeros in there or it's not going to work if that is the original point. Now, the reason it's at 40% because that's roughly where it's in the page as we're scrolling through it. Now, as we scroll down and we get 56% down through our page, what's going to happen is we click here, it's going to move 462 pixels over to the right. Now, here's what the other image is going to do. As we click here, it's actually going to move negative 500 pixels to the left. And that's how we symbolize left and right here. So the negative numbers being left, positive numbers being right. You can also do these in percentages as well. And if we look at the original point where this image originally was, we can see that it was originally at 0. And that's where it should start. Now, if we go ahead and preview this animation, as we scroll, we see a nice switch of these images. And we can actually see the process right over here on the right to see exactly what's happening. Now let's get real. You probably could have done the exact same animation with 2 different built-in slide animations on both of these images. However, by us doing it manually and focusing on keyframes, that allows us to go much deeper into customization part of it, which allows for much more advanced animations. And look, we can customize these as much as we want by adding different things like opacity, color, or movement, like we did so right here. And all the different things that we can add, you can just press plus and you can see all the different ones that you can add. But hold on a second. Let me show you a professional example on another Webflow page. This example was made by Moritz Peterson and it completely blew my mind. If we press play and we scroll down, it's going to be super sick animations of the AirPod Pros. The opacity is changing, there's movement within the text, and it looks super clean. And this is not something we could have done with the built-in animations. Everything here is custom made. I'm going to show you guys a quick example of how all of this was done. So let's go back to the animations. Now, once we're here, if we go to animations, the way to figure out exactly which ones are animated, which ones are not, is we can see a little lightning bolt right over here, which gives us a signal that it's been animated. Now, if we click on here and go to interactions, we can see exactly which element triggers were there. So now that we know that they've been animated, let's check out how they did it. And look, there's going to be 3 different sections, but there was an animation present. And if we go to comfort, for example, all we got to do is go to interactions, press element trigger, click on it, and it's going to tell us exact steps that they were able to take in order to make their magic happen. And we can do this for every single animation that they've done on this project. And as you guys can see here, there's so much happening within both opacity and movement, which creates this cool effect. We're going to have a link to this project down in the description so you guys can check it out as well. And there you guys have it. That was a basic overview over Webflow animations. I hope you guys have been able to enjoy this. And if you guys are interested in trying Webflow for yourself, there's going to be a link down in the description where you guys can check it out. And in addition to that, I know this whole website stuff is new, so I'm going to leave a link down in the description for a free website setup service. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Make sure to check it out, and until next time, bye bye.